Hi Aquarius, welcome to your 27th to the 4th of November 2023. So this is going to be general energies for the week ahead. If you want to book in a personal, there is a seasonal sale, so you get lots of different readings on half price. You can also buy a reading, with it being the week before December and in December, for friends and family if you so wish. Check it all out in the iDot or below. You can also donate to support the videos. Like, comment, really important to get the algorithm to notice Aquarius. Okay, so we already did 6 minutes, but it kind of blew off, but I know what I want to say to yous. So what I'm getting with some of yous is some of yous are going through the loss of something. You're going through a very difficult time. The Three of Swords came out, so this can be a person who's going through some internal conflicts. I feel like God is sending somebody this week to really help you through a hard time, whether it be a heartbreak, whether it be financial problems. I feel like there is a gift that the divine is sending you, so don't reject it, okay? Because I feel like someone's coming in this week to really help you in some way, and it's going to help you to get out of a rut. It could be a loan, it could be, but I feel like it's coming from a good place. So the person who's giving it to you is coming from a good place, right? It's not coming from the devil or a loan shark or a manipulative place. It's generally coming from someone who wants to see you get back on your feet and get your life back together. For the Aquarius woman, there is a relationship in your life, or for cross watchers dealing with an Aquarius, something is just not working no more. It doesn't work. And you're both just creating each other misery by trying to hold on to something that just does not work. I know it's difficult to give years of your life to a marriage, to a career, and to then have to say, okay, this doesn't work. But sometimes the best thing you can do as a person is say, this doesn't work. And then by letting go, something else can come in. And in time, you'll see it was for the best. Okay? So I feel like for some of you Aquariuses, like, it is time to be honest about, maybe you're not depressed, maybe you're suppressed. Okay, because that's what I believe depression is. In other words, you're living out through a false self. You're living in a marriage or a job that is not good for your vessel. So you're calling it depression because that's what people do. It's like people who live in certain countries and they say, well, I'm depressed. It's like, well, maybe you live in that country, but you're meant for this one. Okay, so a lot of people who think depression is real, it can be, but it's more temporary. People who have long-term depression have it for many different reasons, but most people are not actually depressed, they're suppressed. And when you get up and you say, this is my opinion, you don't have to take that. But when you get up and say, actually, yeah, if I won £1 million tomorrow, I'd be a different person, right? If someone came into my life who was amazing, I'd be a different person. If I could do the job I always wanted to do, I'd be a different person. So that's a sign then that you're not depressed, you're suppressed, you're living out through a false self. So some of you, that's what I'm getting, you're in some kind of relationship, and I feel like this relationship just doesn't allow you to be your best self. It just doesn't work. I'm not saying it doesn't have moments of fun, I'm not saying it doesn't have moments of support, but it doesn't work, okay? And so I feel like as we move towards the end of a year, it's really about saying, okay, like, I can either do this again for another year because I'm in denial and I'm in delusion, or I can let this go and I can let God and I can let something new come into the world, right? In other words, it's creating a new reality. I think a lot of you Aquariuses, you need to create a new reality, okay? You are not depressed, you are suppressed. Some years there's been a job loss, there's been a loss of a person, there's been a hard set of events in the last 3 months, and I feel like the message here is there's people who want to help you to get back on your feet. It could be a fitness trainer, it could be a coach, it could be whatever, right? These are people who want to get you back on track, so 2024 you can be living in your best self, okay, because you've kind of been down for a while. What else are we seeing this week for Aquarius, please? If this is not you, it could be someone else. So you could be trying to help an Aries man or a Leo man or a Leo woman. Maybe you're trying to make it work with them, but they're just adamant it's not going to work. Just let them go. I feel, maybe you're an Aries woman watching this, cross-watching, or Leo man, or whatever, right? sometimes you just got to know when to cut your losses, okay? So the energy you're carrying this week was the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups is like someone who's bored, discontent, not happy. Okay? You need to take action. Okay? Someone could be acting out this week as well. They could be getting really, really angry. You got to be careful with the Ace of Wands, but with the Sag energy, it can be more like heavy anger. Sagittarius can be quite dangerous people. They can be quite angry. So yeah, just be careful with your frustration and your pain. I feel like some of you need to find a way to channel your frustration, channel your pain, put it into the right places. Start the gym, rebuild your home. Some of you are thinking about investing in a home, changing your home. There could be a sale of a home as well, unexpectedly. What else are we seeing for Aquarius this week? The Lovers. But I'm telling you, some of you are dealing, I think this is a relationship or it's a long-standing connection. What's happening with you is there is love here. But as they say, there's got to be more than love. You know? There could be that what was once a deep love with the reverse lovers is no more. It doesn't mean it never was love. It doesn't mean the connection and the stuff was not there, but it's not there now. So I feel like either Aquarius needs to accept that fact because you're deeply in love with someone, but this person has stopped loving you, or they're deeply in love with you and you've stopped loving them, and I feel like someone just needs to come to reality, you know, and so that they're not continuing to try to make something work and they're in and out, and I feel like it's time to just let something go. Okay, tell me about the good stuff for Aquarius this week. The Nine of Swords. Enough's enough. Can't live in this prison anymore. So this is the good stuff. The good stuff is the torture, the anger, the pain can no longer continue because everything comes to its breaking point. You can't be angry forever. You can't be in grief forever. It doesn't work. Everything comes to its natural conclusion. So some of you, you've been in some kind of prison, you've been kind of tortured in some way, you've been in a difficult period, but it's coming to an end. You know, this here could be you taking action, meeting someone new. So this, for me, this combination can be a person who struggled to get over an ex or a past relationship, or they've struggled to get over someone. So what the divine does is send someone new. So it's where you kind of living isolated and you just can't get over what a past person did to you, or you can't get over a person, and then someone sends someone new. Someone just doesn't love someone anymore. But also sometimes it's not even that, it's just the divine puts someone new in your way and you just start loving that person more, so the old person falls away naturally. That's what's happening. I've had it happen to me. You know, when I've been madly obsessed with someone, loved them, and I've tortured myself, and I've been in and then next minute someone new comes along and I'm kind of like, who's that person again? No more crying, no more, you know, the other side of the coin is some of you is the God is putting people, God or gods are putting, I haven't been well, people into your life to help you reshape yourself, to help you basically come to your power. You're going to meet new people, you're going to become a new version, you know. There might be talk of a new job opportunity. This could be in the social settings over the Christmas. Someone could just offer you something this week, and there's no intention in your mind, there's no plan in your mind. That's because it's not your plan, it's God's plan for you. And he sends another person to say, oh, they're taking on in this company, or have you seen Sandra over there? So it's like, we don't always have the answers, right? Sometimes the answers come through other people. Sometimes the saviour comes through other people, right? So I feel like with Aquarius this week, you need to be open, because like God is really sending, I feel like the person who's coming in to help you is such a genuine person, but they would be if they're sent by God. You know, this is a person who helps you because they want to help you. It's not a person who's going to say, remember when I helped you? It's not that type of person. It's a genuine person. A lot of people help people because it makes them feel good, or so later on they can go, remember when I gave you that money? Yeah, remember when I helped you? You know, it's all about them. It's all, there's always remember. But I feel like there's a person coming in for you who's going to rebuild your mind and your body, and some years they're going to help you financially, like, and it's generally sincere. You know, this could be a person who changes your mindset around like being in prison. So this could be some kind of coach, spiritual teacher. This is just someone who helps you to gain perspective and to get out of something you've kind of been torturing yourself over. Some of yours, the pain of something is coming to its natural conclusion. So this is where you kind of was not putting yourself out there because you were holding on to someone, but the divine is putting something new into your path, and it's like the old person kind of falls away. And the other side of the coin is it's not a tragedy. Like, some people share this journey with one person the whole life and it's beautiful. And some people share the journey with many people and that's still beautiful. You know? So everybody's different. Not everybody's meant to be with the same person for the whole life. You know, that's just what society sells you, right? And it is beautiful, it's very powerful, but so is having many different connections where we learn about ourselves, they learn from us, then we finally find that person. So I feel like for some of you Aquariuses, like, let go of the dead. Okay, let go of the old. Like I'm not being funny, but some of you could be in a marriage or you're in a relationship, but essentially it's dead. Okay, you're in a job and you feel like numbing it. It's dead. Okay, so the Fool's all about taking risks, right? And it's also about, I feel like there is a risk taker who's coming into your life, and this person is very inspiring. But the Fool also often appears to be a fool, but he's someone who always lands on his feet, and it's because he's divinely guided. For those who are in quite a dark place right now, you need to seek help. Because the Fool can be the divine is trying to help the Fool. That's what the divine dog is about. But the Fool is ignoring the guidance. So I do get a person here who might be in a very dark mental space, suicidal, or they're kind of trapped in something. So it's where we get into debt, or we get into something where we feel like we can't control it, we can't fix it. And so our mind goes into panic. Sometimes you can't fix it. Sometimes your job is to go and ask people for help because they can fix it. So I feel like pride comes before a fall. So some of you, it's about asking for help, because sometimes people can be pivotal in changing your life, right? And changing your thinking and changing whatever you're in, the Chariot. I feel like there's a house move here as well. So you had the Chariot. Some of you could be buying a house. Some of you are stressing over a house in some way. Okay, maybe you're staying with the person you're with because you share a home with this person, so it's difficult because you need somewhere to live, and so you're kind of having to put up with this person. But I feel like with Aquarius, you need to deal with something once and for all. Okay, you like, it's time to, no matter what the condition is, it's time to deal with something for once and for all, and it's time to ask for help. For single Aquariuses, I think there is love coming in here, or maybe sex only connections. Okay, I feel like for some of you Aquariuses, you're kind of in a weird place. The Eight of Swords with the Nine of Swords this week, this is not good. This can be a woman who's very, very isolated. So you've got the woman and the man. So some of you Aquariuses, you're kind of going into dark places. You're living in your head. You've got a lot of social anxiety, a lot of hang-ups. I feel like you're living in a prison. See the way the woman is wearing red, so this woman is in fear. So this is a person who's in fear of connection. You might have blocked chakras in the root and the sacral. Check out the new read that's on the website, Life Changing, if I do say so myself. So I use the tarot to look at the 7 chakras and tell you the messages from the tarot about the 7 energy centers and like what's blocking them. So if you're kind of in a bad way, that would be a good choice. Because for sometimes it's not the mind that's the problem. It's the energy blocks, it's the energy system, it's the chakras are blocked, and you need to kind of do the work and understand what's going on in the deep, deep unconscious and in the energetic body. But yeah, I kind of get, they're talking about, they're so disgusting, these people, there's no words for how disgusting these people are. So at the minute they're talking about a loneliness epidemic is the second behind climate change. Wouldn't you say it's the first? Anyway, whatever. You know, anything that these cunts sell you is just like, honestly, it's like shit coming. It's like a fart. You know, like you turn on it and you're like, no. You know? But there's been a loneliness epidemic for ages. You know, clearly we've been unraveling for a long time. And, you know, it's just like, what can we put in the news that we haven't put in the news? It's all about, you know, it's so sick, this fucking, whatever this thing is that they've created. But yeah, that's what I'm kind of getting with these two cards. I'm getting people who are very isolated, lonely, fearful of connection. They might have like some perverse thoughts, some dark thoughts, but it's coming from a lack of intimacy, a lack of human touch, a lack of connection. Some of you watching this, you might not have any friends. You might be scared of humans. You know? And you can't live like that. It will torture you over time. It will erode you. So what happens is when people get betrayed and they get hurt, they go to safety. They go to the fetal position. They retreat. But then you look back and 4 years have gone by and you've been living in retreat. But then your mind and your body has got used to isolation. So you can't connect with humans anymore. Being around them makes you anxious and on edge and fearful. I know I did it. Okay? So what I'm saying for you is that you need to work through this, right? You got to come out your shell. You've got to work on your fears. You've got to understand what your fears are. You've got to face your betrayals so you can get back out there in the game of life. And otherwise, there's no life. Only existence. Okay? So, you know, life is going to betray you. It's going to betray you at the highest level. So we might as well go and have some fun before it does. Okay? Ten of Pentacles. This is taking the help of people who can... These people can help you, to connect with people. Like, this can be therapy, counselling, like people who are professionals, people who know what they're doing, you know. I feel like for some of you Aquariuses watching this, you're scared to air your demons, you're scared to be vulnerable. All humans are vulnerable. We just live in a world where people act like they know what they're doing and they act like they've got it together, right? So I feel like the message for you is it's time to be happy, but you need your family, you need a support group, you need to go and talk to people about what you're going through so that people can help you, okay? And you'll get the support. You know, Two of Cups, this is loyalty, it's people who are, you know, it's people who will support you, right? I'm also getting a lasting relationship. Okay? So this is for the Aquariuses who are kind of stuck in isolation. It's because of past events. This can be sexual abuse, trauma, things that have happened to you, things men and women have done to you. So you need to go and work on rebalancing yourself. Balancing yourself, and then that's where you're going to find the Two of Cups with the Ten of Pentacles, okay? And remember we talked about the chakras, so someone's got a blocked root chakra, blocked heart chakra, and it's disconnecting them from the higher self. They're living in a fear-based self. Some of you, this goes deeper. This is your childhood, this is toxic parents, this is cunts who told you. They warped all their dirty ideologies and perversity into you. That's what this is about. Okay? So some of you, the wounds run deep because the people who caused them were people who were never supposed to hurt you in that way. But you know, listen, if we don't heal our wounds, we become the next generation, and then we create that in the next generation, and it just becomes a generational thing. So, you know, happiness is there if you want it. The life you want is there if you want it, but you're going to have to do the work and you're going to have to get help, okay? I feel like for some Aquariuses this week, you're kind of just trapped in your head. Yeah, and it's and you know, the Five of Cups is kind of worrying about the worst case scenario. This is a person who's anticipating the future being what the past was based off what past people did. The past was the past, the present is the present, and the future is yet to be determined. So some of you need to start getting more present, and you need to learn from your past, but you also need to know that most of what you're in your head about is not going to come to being. And some of you are going to manifest it because what we think in, we create it. Okay? So I feel like for some of you, just be aware of that. Some of you are having intrusions, you might be hearing voices, you might have people around you who are intruding upon you. That's just this society now, because a lot of people are in this kind of sickness of isolation, desperation. They live through the internet, they're in the neighbour's business, they're in everyone's business. It's because they've got no life. I mean, if you've got a life, you're living your fucking life. So I do think maybe that's why we mentioned the home. There's something to do with living in a home with people who are just not good energy, or something to do with being around people who are kind of like unhinged, like they're creepy, you know. And I think because of the pandemic, a lot of people was living isolated for like 3 years, and it's kind of made them a bit okay. But it's time to come back and do the work, and you know. And if you're kind of that person who's kind of going, I feel a bit weird in myself, I feel like I'm acting weird, okay, so you've got to become more social, you've got to become more connected, you've got to get out your house, you've got to do the work, right, restructure yourself. But for some of you, I think it's a really good week, like for the Aquariuses who are in the power. There's a job opportunity, there's a house opportunity. If you're having struggles with accommodation, this can be a person who offers you to go live with them. There's so much opportunity this week for Aquariuses in general, but you need to be out socialising. For the Aquarius woman who's going through a hard time, I'm getting basically, you need to get out your head, get your girlfriends, go on nights out, go on days out, do things that make you productive and inspired. So this can be a person who's going through a heartbreak, they're going through a loss, and it's painful. But the more we focus on something, the more we create the pain, right? So sometimes it's like, I'm not saying don't feel the pain, I'm not saying don't process the pain, but sometimes what we actually need to do is just get our girlfriends and just go to the gym and go do things that are productive, so we're not sitting in a Five of Cups energy. But something is coming to an end, and I do think someone is struggling to accept this. Someone is kind of tortured by something that is happening in themselves or in their life, and I think it's you. And you're going to have to confront it, you know? And even when it comes to like someone who's chose to move on with someone else, or the ending of this relationship, of course you need to sit and cry and feel your pain, but you need people around you supporting you, so you don't go to that dark place that we go to when we're alone. You need to be getting as busy as possible, so you're not just sitting there day after day with this person on your mind, brooding over them, obsessing over them. It could be another person over you. For some of you, I'm actually getting business opportunities, house opportunities, investment opportunities, but you need to be out there networking. So this is the reading I got. Hopefully it was helpful. If you want to book in a reading, remember the chakra reading. If you're going through anything, I do face-to-face. I do phone calls as well. Very good at what I do, so very good at those kind of things. So if you need help, reach out to me and I'll be happy to help. Like the video and comment. I'll speak to you soon.